Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Pop Anime Comics here from PopAnimeComics.com and the Pop Anime Comics Lounge podcast, where I interview voice actors, comic writers, artists, cosplayers, and professional wrestlers. And once again, it is Attack on Titan time, Season 3, Episode 46 / Episode 9 of Season 3, Ruler of the Walls. So, very interesting episode, but once again, I'm going to say this is to act as a companion to my bigger panel that I do about 4 or 5 times a year called Exploring Dystopia Through Attack on Titan, The Walking Dead, and Fahrenheit 451. And I have submitted it to several cons, preferably one in November, so hopefully I'll get that, and I will keep everybody updated on just that. So, big ideas. Pretty much the Survey Corps is coming up with a plan and have a bunch of other military police and military central, the Wall Rose team who manages the walls are firing cannons. They have cannons on the ground, they have cannons on top, and the cannons are proving to be very ineffective against Rod Reese's Titan form, and his Titan form is severely attracted to large populations, which leads into the strategy of them keeping everybody in Orvad. Because if they move everybody to the wall and behind that central district, what's going to wind up happening is that the Titan's going to change course and it's going to break a wall and it's going to cause more problems. So the Survey Corps comes up with this plan where they're going to shoot cannons at it. Hopefully that'll solve it. The cannons are proving to be very ineffective, partially due to the lack of military training and how these people are up in the northern district that typically does not get attacked and does not have the right proper training to deal with it, and they're all kind of scrambled. So they're not really doing much, slowing down the Rod Reese Titan very, very slightly from what is determined. And then the Survey Corps basically comes up with this concept that they allow the Titan to climb up and hoist itself up on the walls. It doesn't have a face, kind of is dropping its intestines. Very, very disturbing to say the least here. But then they use these special gunpowder barrels that use ODM materials, shoot it into it, get the Titan off balance into its hands and kind of the things that it's latching onto the wall, because the Rod Reese Titan is so big, it's as bigger than the Colossal Titan, where it can't support itself, and that's why it's crawling like an insect. And then when it's hoisted on the wall, it gets down, the face falls onto the wall, and then Eren transforms and takes all this gunpowder net stuff that they created, and then they throw it into Rod Reese's mouth, or half of his mouth, because he's faceless, half of his face, you can see like his brains sort of. Really, really disturbing, by the way. I mean, it's arguably the most disturbing Titan in the entire series so far, and Eren as a Titan throws it in because Erwin came up with the plan that the heat that it's emitting will push off the gunpowder and will ignite the gunpowder. And what that ultimately does is that forces the explosion to occur all across, because they can't get to the nape of the neck. And what they realize is that they have to explode him. From that point, throw the gunpowder, neck kind of pops out, big explosion, and ultimately his head and the rest of his body pushes up, and then the Survey Corps kind of just cuts the rest of the pieces in part, and that's the end of the discussion. And so really what we get out of all that is a lot of strategy was put in place. Survey Corps is definitely gambling on this because they don't know if he has a face, because up to the point of coming up with this plan, the face has been on the ground. It's been determined that Eren can't control Rod Reese's Titan, where he can control others, and he's trying to control it, and it's been determined that he can't control it. And so this is their plan, and they're taking a huge gamble because the cannons aren't working, and if Rod Reese's Titan didn't have a mouth, they'd be, sorry, out of luck. Using a different word there, another S word is more appropriate, but sorry, out of luck would have been what it was. And so it goes to show that the Survey Corps tends to use a lot of strategies, and at this point, Erwin has taken significant risks in the last 9 episodes to get what he wants and to address problems and to ultimately defy what Rod Reese has been trying to defy and eliminate the Titans. And so that's what we're really getting out of this entire arc so far, and I think it's safe to say that this arc is more or less over. The Civil War, Rod Reis Titan arc is coming to a conclusion here, and we get that entire realm of risk and how the Survey Corps is willing to push and go and throw risk down in order to change the world and change humanity. And I think that's something that's just so interesting about this. And I think it really speaks about freedom, it speaks about liberation, it speaks about a lot of those things where you have to run those risks. And I think that's what this episode does very nicely. And I think that we also see that Eren is now becoming an adult where he's reflecting on being weak. He's been reflecting on being weak. And you see him punching himself. And he's kind of beating the brat out of him and saying, well, I'm humanity's ace. And I think what's really inspirational is that there's 3 kids, 2 boys and 1 girl. And Eren says that reminds me of the day. And it's a flashback to the day when they were playing and they were first attacked 3.5 years ago or so. And so I think that's something. And then Eren says, well, this time they have an ace and humanity has an ace. And that's Eren, and he's kind of preventing what happened to him that day to these 3 kids. And so I think that's something to really keep in mind here going forward and understanding of what's going on, where we're finally seeing that Eren is now stepping up to the plate and getting the brat out of him and realizing that he's humanity's trump card and that he's their answer. And when he transforms into a Titan, the plan would have worked without him. And then we also get that moment with Historia in this episode where she really cuts, kind of delivers the final blow of this massive piece of the Titan. And we see kind of her saying, this is the first time I'm defying my father. I'm going against him. And then she kind of crash lands. But then there's sort of a flashback where Erwin says, I can't have you fight because you're going to be the leader and you're going to be the queen of ruling us all in these walls. And you're the rightful leader. I can't have you fight, but I also can't stop you. And so it's very symbolic, I think, that she delivers the final blow. And that what appears to be the final blow, and then the people, when she crashes down of the village, who are witnessing all this, say, did you deliver the final blow? And she says, my name is Historia Reis, and I am the ruler of the walls. And so I think that's very symbolic as well, where it's clear at this point that she has accepted her fate and that she has chosen to do what Rod Reis has wanted to do and what he has been fighting to do. And it took pretty much his daughter that from another woman, who an illegitimate child, to accomplish this, who he banished. And it took him to go up against her, to force her to do what he wanted to do, but she's doing it in a very different way, where she's kind of doing it in a partnership with Eren to some degree. She's now trying to rid the world of Titans and taking a stance against them, which is something that he was begging his father to do. And so it's very, very bizarre, but I also think it's very liberating. I think that this is a point of free will that we're talking about with Attack on Titan at this point. And I just think it really is fantastic, where we're now seeing what it takes to be free, what it takes to make decisions, and what it takes to control your destiny in your life. And I think that's something that does this very nicely. And then the ending is very cool in this episode, where we get the fact that Levi goes to Kenny. Kenny's dying. Kenny's going to be dead. I mean, it's over for Kenny. It's pretty clear that he's going to die. And then pretty much right before he's kicking off, he reveals to Levi that he has a syringe full of this transformation Titan power, and kind of flashes it to him, and that's where the episode ends. And so that's clearly something significant, where going forward, if somebody wants to eat somebody else, I mean, that's kind of an answer on how to steal power, much like Eren did it, and what Rod Reis was trying to do with Historia. That's something that is going to be crucial going forward, and is obviously a major asset to the Survey Corps and what they want to do moving forward. And those who are reading the manga have an idea where this is heading. And so that's really what's going on. And so that's kind of a nice cliffhanger, and it's planting a seed for maybe the rest of the season. We got, I believe, 24 episodes. So if we're on episode 9, if my math is right, we got 13 more episodes, and we're going to be entering the next stage of Attack on Titan and a lot of other fun stuff that's going on that I've been alluding to, and that a lot of these earlier episodes of saying I can't really talk about this yet is going to be coming to fruition in the next 13 episodes. So for everybody who's thinking I don't know what I'm talking about, you're going to see why I was holding back in the next 13 episodes. And for those who are watching or reading the manga, I should say, definitely know why I'm holding back, because I don't want to be a spoiler. And again, I don't know where everybody's at in Attack on Titan. I go through this on my panels. When I do my panels, I try to be very considerate of everything that's going on, so I'm not jumping ahead for that very reason, because I don't know where everybody's at, and I don't want to be the spoiler guy. Again, this is to act as a companion. I think that a lot of stuff is going on, and we're now starting to see a lot of bigger pictures of what is the price of freedom, what is the price of free will, what is the price of what are you willing to sacrifice for it. I mean, we've seen it in the last 9 episodes, massive risks and massive sacrifices to achieve this freedom and to not be controlled by a government that wants to control how you think and control what you think and that type of stuff. And so that's something I think that is so interesting that this is really doing it up to this point, because this is the first time that they're breaking away from the government of controlling what they're reading and their access to information. And so that's something that is really interesting. They're controlling how people think. And so we're now breaking away from that concept of in Attack on Titan. We're now entering the new stage and a new democracy and a new regime of where people can actually think for themselves and question this concept of living in a wall and what's beyond the wall and what the situation is occurring. And this is kind of that final position, because Rod Reese's Titan was the final barrier into controlling just that. So that's really the big takeaway from all this. Bit of a shorter video. Very interesting stuff. Big concepts here. I love talking about this stuff, and I think we're now starting to piece all this together. In the last 9 videos, including this one, I think we're getting a much larger sense of what's going on in Attack on Titan, and a bunch of stuff's about to unfold in the next 13 episodes or so. So it's going to be very exciting to see where we go from here. So thank you for watching. It's always appreciated. I love talking about this. All my social media stuff, it's popanimecomics.com. I write about anime, pop culture, comic books. I got a lot of cool stuff coming. Got a lot of cool books coming that I'm going to be reviewing, so definitely stay tuned for that. As I stated, a bunch of my panels do go up on Facebook Live for about 2 weeks. I don't have many up right now because they've expired, but if you check out my Facebook page in November, I'm going to have some panels hopefully up there. So definitely stay tuned for that. Best place to check is like my Facebook page. And if there's a con like around you, just check, see if I put something up on my Facebook page about that. Because those are free to watch. Facebook Live up for 2 weeks. Really cool content. Because I know people are all over, so definitely check that out. Links down below. My Twitter is @PopAnimeComics. You can definitely follow me on Twitter. That's another great place to find out what I'm doing and what's going on, because I announce there. My podcast is the Pop Anime Comics Lounge. It's on SoundCloud, iTunes, a bunch of other places. Got a bunch of cool stuff going on with that. I'm right now on hiatus, but I got like 90 episodes out, so knock yourself out with that. And I'm coming back hopefully sometime in October with a bunch of cool episodes, hopefully 8 new episodes to keep everybody busy with a lot of cool voice actors, comic writers, cosplayers, and professional wrestlers, so definitely stay tuned for that. And that's all I got, and everything else I got is down below. My Instagram is Pop Anime Comics, put up a lot of Pop Funkos and comic books, and I know I'm going on here, but it's always appreciated. I do this because I like it. I don't make any money from this, so if you enjoy what you do, I have no affiliate links, really, so just give me a follow, subscribe, comment, check out my other projects that I'm doing. Feel free to share it with people, because that's the best way how you can support me. So all I'm asking for a share, a follow, a like on Facebook, if you enjoy this, because that tells me that you want me to do more and more and more of this. So thank you for listening, and hopefully I will see you at one of my panels at a con And hopefully you'll be following me to find out where I'm going to be next. And if you like what I do and your con doesn't have me and you want me at a con, hey, shoot a message to those cons. Say, hey, this guy's really good. He's good on YouTube. He's got an awesome panel concept. You guys can consider reaching out to them, see if you want me to go there and see if you can convince Con to bring me out there. So that's always appreciated, and thank you for watching. And I know I'm rambling, but I'm going to let everybody go enjoy the rest of Attack on Titan, and I cannot wait to see everybody next week.